What's up, guys? We've got a lot to talk about today, including Reggie is retiring from Nintendo, Google is getting into video games, and some other awesome games added to Game Pass, and we're going to be talking about Crackdown 3 and Far Cry New Dawn. Let's plug Alright, so first up on the docket here.
Well, should we start to say that Sparks is still gone?
Right, Sparks has bronchitis.
Bronchitis.
It might be a long time before he comes back. In the meantime, like we said the last time, the show must go on.
Mm-hmm.
Keep bringing you the good stuff. So let's get into the news. First thing I want to talk about, let's talk about Reggie is stepping down from Nintendo America. I just have to say Reggie. I don't have to say his last name. When you say Reggie in Nintendo, you know who the guy is. This is surprising. Yeah, in April he will be stepping down from president of Nintendo America. And the person that's going to be the new president, just guess what his name is. It is perfect for Nintendo, by the way.
Do you want me to guess? Is it Mario?
No, but it's Doug Bowser.
Oh my god!
I kid you not. His last name is Bowser. It's perfect.
Oh my god!
By the way, I'm one of your hosts, Jake Williams, and the other guy you hear is Chance Oliver.
Yay!
Yeah, as we said, no Sparks today. He's battling bronchitis.
His voice is deceased.
Now, this to me is big news. This is something that I didn't think would happen. The way that he's talking about it and the way that it looks like Nintendo and him split on good terms. You know, there wasn't any bad blood in there. But, you know, Reggie's, as far as I can remember, been the face for Nintendo, at least in the States, because he's obviously Nintendo of America.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this is a guy that I thought would just be there forever. You know, I never thought he would leave. But
you think he'd be like a wrinkly old man who's still selling game consoles in, 2050 or something?
And the fact that he's a meme, that's, there's always good Reggie memes. I hope, this is the funny thing. I come on the original version of this show, when it was just Sparks and I. He would always make fun of me and say that I hated Nintendo. And whenever you and, we've all talked and, like, texting each other, you guys insist that I hate Nintendo. I don't hate Nintendo.
Why do you hate Nintendo?
Oh,
sorry.
Shut up, Chance. No, I don't hate Nintendo, but they just never really appealed to me, but I get why it appeals to other people. And I think he was a big part of that, and I wish nothing but the best for Nintendo. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to be, F Nintendo, even though they have the, least superior console to all the other ones.
He's going to help, who is that, Ludacris, with his console?
No, Soldier Boy. Well,
Soldier Boy, not Ludacris.
Okay, I was going to say, is Ludacris trying to do it now? But
no, yo, Ludacris, make a console. So I look less stupid just now. But no, Soldier Boy's console.
He's going to end up in jail.
Oh my god.
No, do you have anything else to add to that?
Well, Nintendo is, for a lot of people, their introductory console in a lot of ways. Like N64, GameCube, the Wii. It's a baby step into gaming, and he fostered a lot of American children in that way, and to that I appreciate you, Reggie, and I hope you enjoy retirement or whatever you do next.
Yeah. So not much else to talk about there. I think we kind of just said it all right there.
Like nothing controversial or anything.
No hot takes. Good riddance. No. I think we'd be talking about him a little bit differently if the Switch wasn't such a success, but
yeah,
it worked out for him, and good on Nintendo. So now it looks like Google has officially decided they aren't a part of your life enough, and they have to get to a new aspect of controlling your life. It looks like Google is attempting to get in the video game market. Now, we'll touch on this some more, but unlike other companies that try to get in this space, they're not using a console. It's all streaming. They're doing it through Project Stream. So when you saw this last night when we were making the rundown for the show, what did you think about this?
The article I read was, I think it might be the one that you linked in our Word doc or
the
Google Doc.
Insider one, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Game Pass. It's like Game Pass with like an extra step. Like with Game Pass, yes, it is like Netflix with games, but with Game Pass, you need to have the space on your console to download that game. Like, the 80 gigabytes it'll take for the Master Chief Collection or Halo 5. But if what I read correctly is like you can just go on a browser, type in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and play it like that, right?
Yeah, that's kind of the approach. It's going to be all streaming. So, yeah, that's the idea, that you could just open up a window and stream from there. It's called Project Stream. So this is what we know. They've said they beta tested it, and you mentioned what was in the article. They played Assassin's Creed Odyssey on a browser, and it ran pretty well. And I'm impressed that this is even we're at this level of tech.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that Google is trying to do something different and new with games, but this is what worries me about it, is we've seen this before. We've seen companies try to get in this space and compete with Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo, but it's never really worked out. I mean, do you remember the Ouya?
No.
It was
Vaguely.
like this. Yeah, it was like a console. It was kind of like the first idea of the Switch, I think. This is kind of the jumping off point a little bit. But it was the Ouya. They would put games. I think it played like mobile games on your TV or something, and it came with a controller. And it just didn't work, because I look at it as something similar to, if, say, the AAF, for instance, if they try to compete with the NFL, or if you have another basketball league trying to compete with the NBA, I don't think it's going to end well. Although the difference is this already has name recognition because it's Google.
Right.
But I don't know if it's going to work. What do you think?
It could work in the realm of PC gaming, because everyone's got a Chrome tab on their desktop. I mean, maybe Steam will get all angry, but that's the only thing I could see. I think it's just the convenience of it, if it works, because while just going into your a tab on Chrome would be very convenient. That's gotta just totally annihilate your bandwidth, and especially if you're on a data plan or have a cap by your provider. But it seems too good to be true, honestly.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at. And I think what could work for Google, I think, is what you were talking about, and really going after a PC market, because I think they could be a legitimate competitor to Steam, or say even Epic Game Store, who just popped up. It's I agree with you. It's the convenience of it, because I mean, almost everybody I know has a Gmail account, and you could just put your card in your. You could use PayPal or you could use your Google Wallet or whatever, and it could just go right off your Gmail, and that's super convenient. So I agree with you. I think it's more of an aggressive move into PC than it is to consoles.
Yeah.
But it is also mentioned later in this article that they are expected to use a console, but they don't think it's going to compete with the big three.
No. I mean, if it's just like a little box you can plug, like if it's like a Roku or something, or an Amazon Fire just with games.
I think and what this article said, and I think this is probably the approach. They're gonna make it more of like kind of like a Chromecast, where it's just able to stream the game onto your TV. I think, much rather than trying to compete with a PS4 and an Xbox One, which again, it just sounds too good to be true. It does sound like that's way too convenient and easy to use, but
it sounds like we're being pranked.
Right? It just doesn't seem normal, seem right. And then what do you do with multiplayer? Is that cross-platform because you're playing it on Google? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. What if you accidentally close your tab?
Yeah. What if something happens?
Just fighting and it's like, oh, here, let me close a few tabs so this will go. Oh no!
But I get to the final boss and you just fuck it all up. You don't
like
save it.
Browser crashes.
All right. Other than that, I think it's interesting. It's like I said at the top. It's like Google just isn't satisfied enough. They want to be more a part of my life. They just kind of keep infecting everything.
Can Google get me a girlfriend? If it comes that far, then we'll be good. Other than that,
you can stream your girlfriend.
You can stream.
Project Stream. All right, the last piece of news. This is for all you Xbots out there. I think that's the term. I could be wrong. But for all the people that love Game Pass like we do, added to what was already a pretty stacked month, we get Alien Isolation, Epic Mickey 2, and The Walking Dead Season 2.
I completely forgot that Epic Mickey was a thing. Like, I remember it vividly now that, like, the word has come back into my mind, but, like, I completely forgot about it.
You know what's really funny? I agree with you. I totally forgot that Epic Mickey 2 was a game, was a thing.
Yeah, it seems like generic rip-off of Kingdom Hearts, but it's just Mickey.
Right.
God.
It's such a weird addition to Game Pass because I don't think anybody remembers those games. But, yeah, this month has some big hitters. As we're recording this, Batman Return to Arkham just went up.
I'm so going to play that.
The latest... Oh, I know. Like I said a few weeks ago, it's an excuse for me to get back into the Batman Arkham games, and I've been wanting to... I had the need to play them again.
Compulsive desire.
And I'll even go, you know what? I'll even play Arkham Knight. I'm trying to see if I can I need to find Arkham Origins and play that too. But anyway, that's already there. Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Now you're getting Alien Isolation, which is a great game I've heard. I've never played it. But
Samesies.
But now that it's on Game Pass, why not play it,
Why not?
Right now. So, yeah, that's just a quick addition to Game Pass, and that's all we have for the news.
The news.
So, Chance and I, and even Sparks, are all cheap bastards.
Especially Sparks.
Yeah, suck it, man. We know you don't listen to the show. Anyway, we like to help out cheap bastards, and we're going to give you... Now, these aren't all the deals. There's a lot more, obviously, but these are just the three biggest deals, I think, on Xbox and PlayStation. So, let's start off with Xbox. First up, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Woo!
$40.19. If you haven't bought this game yet, you're an idiot. and I will take the money from you and buy it on an Xbox because they have it on PS4.
Just need money.
No, honestly, that's pretty cool. Rockstar usually doesn't put their games on sale very much, so yeah.
No.
If you want to play in my opinion, the best game of last year, pick it up for $40.19. Destiny fans out there, Destiny 2 Forsaken Legendary Edition is $30. So Legendary is with all the extra crap thrown in. And then lastly, Madden NFL 19 is $15. And this might be the time I actually buy it. I buy the Maddens every year, but I wait for them to be super cheap.
Like now.
And then it's just my way to kill time in the summer. That's really all it is until another one comes out. So those are the three biggest ones on Xbox. Obviously, there's more. If you want to check that out, you do that yourself. You can also follow Major Nelson on Twitter. He has a lot of those. Now on to PlayStation. Destiny 2 Forsaken Legendary Edition is $35.99, so it's more expensive on PlayStation. I need to hop on this because Chance would probably beat me up if I didn't. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition with all the DLC, all the good stuff, is $19.99 on PlayStation. I might have to pick that up.
Fuck damn it! I don't have the complete edition. Yeah, I am like a full-fledged member of the Circle Jerk on that game.
And I've always been wanting to play it. I think now would probably be the time.
It's a good game. It's a little like hack and slash that people don't like, but the story is amazing. It takes, God, you probably need at least put 60 to beat it at a bare minimum to beat it.
Yeah, that's gonna be after. That's what scares me about it. It's so big. And then lastly on PlayStation, this is also a really great deal. South Park, the video game collection, that is The Stick of Truth and Fractured But Whole. Great title. That is $40 for those two games. I played a little bit of Stick of Truth. I think they're pretty solid games. So, there you go. Those are the deals of the week for you cheap bastards out there.
Cheap sons of bitches.
All right. Moving along here, I want to talk about something that we need to address here.
Okay.
I effed up and I didn't finish Hitman.
You suck.
Neither did Sparks.
Both of you suck.
So Chance, I'm sorry. But because of that, we have to pick a new Game Pass game. First of all, you know what? First, give me your full-fledged review of Hitman right now. How did you feel about that game since you actually...
I thought I was going to hate it, but I ended up liking it. So, first off, the stealth gameplay actually takes some thought into it. Like I said in the previous podcast, you can't just old Assassin's Creed games your way through it like, ha ha ha, you're in this grass, you'll never see me. Yeah, they'll see you. They'll fuck you up.
Yeah, the AI is great in that game. It really adds tension. I would agree.
Yeah, it makes you think. Cause it's like, all right, I'm wearing this, and no one can question me except that person and that person. And they're usually patrolling around here, so I need to hide in this little thing with my eyes popping out like a little Jack in the Box. And it can get very frustrating, but I like it. Make sure you do opportunities like I said last time. Like for instance, there was this one where it's like some rich asshole in Italy where you have to infiltrate his mansion and stuff. Like if you usually you'll just start out outside the place you're supposed to assassinate someone. Spoilers, by the way. Mild spoilers. I don't know. Well, I think the nitty gritty of the story is in Hitman 2, which I might play after this. But just walk left or right. Don't just go straight into it. It's our van broke down and we're delivering flowers to the guy I'm supposed to kill. So thanks for your uniform. I'm gonna dump you in the behind this van.
I dropped him off the side.
Oh, you killed him?
Yeah, I kicked him off the side just to be safe.
Oh no. I think I think I got caught and I just reloaded like the bicycle guy that they hit on the side of the road. I think I shot them in the face so they wouldn't snitch. but
Also,
you lose points if you shoot innocent people.
Right. I like how the game kind of punishes you for that. Where it's like, you don't need to kill people you don't have to. Don't be a dick.
Yeah. But I'm a hitman, damn it. I don't know. It made me very aware, too, like, okay, if I leave this disguise here, get this other disguise, go around, shoot that asshole in the face, and then come back for it, because, like, maybe the disguise I have is the only one that, like, my target won't recognize, but everyone else will, so, like, I have to sneak back to my old disguise and put it on so I can walk out without, causing a ruckus.
Right. And there's some people that will know that you're...
It's like, hey, you're not the guy I hired. Get out. Who are you?
So you actually have to navigate through that. Yeah. I am bummed that I didn't get to finish it. It's just I was trying to cram it before Far Cry New Dawn came out because I knew that I was going to spend a lot of time with that, and I failed you, Chance. I failed you.
It's okay. Are you going to return to the game, or is it like off of Game Pass?
I think it's I don't know. I think it's on. I could be wrong. It could be off. I don't think I finished it in time.
I think it's still on. I don't know. Sparks made me think it was off, but then I was looking at my feed and it said he got an achievement for it like 18 hours after he said that, so I don't know what's going on.
He's lying to you.
But overall, good game. Frustrating at first, but once you get the hang of it, a lot of fun, lots of challenge. Do you have any more thoughts on what you played of it?
I think you kind of hit it pretty spot on. I think it was, and I said this the last time we talked about it, I'm impressed with the level design and how much room there is to improvise. And it's happened, I think it happened to me multiple times where I thought I was going to play out a certain scenario, but then an opportunity fell in my lap and I was able to change course and do something else. And I think that to me is the most impressive thing, is just the design of everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would recommend.
So since you picked last time, you can pick again.
Okay.
But I will give you a few suggestions. I think that would be fun.
Okay. I was going to say, should we give priority to you two since your games didn't get picked?
Well, the one I was going to suggest was DMC Devil May Cry, the reboot.
Okay.
I was going to suggest that or Epic Mickey 2. No,
oh, boy.
maybe Super Lucky's Tale. I don't know. Because Sparks keeps picking for that. You know what? We'll put that in the mix.
Kingdom
Super
of
Lucky's
Keflings.
Tale. Super Lucky's Tale. DMC Devil May Cry, and what else?
Return to Arkham.
Technically, we haven't played. Just
we
Cause.
have. I have not played Just Cause. Let's see. I'll go with whatever you want to go with, Jake. Well, let's see here. Because if I'm being completely honest, I haven't kept myself on the up and up currently. So I'm just going to click here, stall while I'm looking at this Eurogamer article and pretend that I'm not being irresponsible with my podcasting duties. Yeah, I think DNC or Just Cause. I mean, are you sticking with what you had last month?
Oh, DMC?
Yeah.
Technically. We could also play Return to Arkham because,
We haven't played it technically.
we haven't played the remaster.
Yeah. It's a different game, new achievements, son.
Here, I'm gonna grab a quarter and we're gonna flip a coin.
All right. He's getting a quarter, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Heads DMC. Tails, Just Cause 3.
All right, so Sparks doesn't get a choice since he's not here.
No.
Suck it.
It was Tails, so it'll be Just Cause 3.
All right.
There you have it.
I'll be playing Just Cause 3 where everyone else pretends to play Just Cause 3.
Exactly. There you have it. March 21st. That is the deadline to finish Just Cause 3.
Yep. Mark your calendars.
And if it happens 2 months in a row, Chance, you get to run my Twitter for a day. How's that?
Oh, you're gonna be into a lot of weird shit when you come back.
All right. So let's get to the main topic of this week. Last week was a big week for games. 3 games came out on one day.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to play Metro. I think I really need to get into the other 2, and I think those games are on Game Pass. But so we're not going to be talking about Metro Exodus. We're going to be talking about Crackdown 3 and Far Cry New Dawn because that's the most time we spent with those games. I've already written kind of my early impressions on loudopinionated.com. I haven't put out my review yet. I think I'll be putting that out very, very soon. All right, Chance. I want to give you the floor here since people already know a little bit of what I was talking about with New Dawn. Let's hear, what's your opinions on Crackdown 3?
Okay, so I'll be doing a write-up, eventually, but but for now, first of all, y'all need to fucking chill with the hate on Crackdown 3. Look, I know some games go through development hell, and this was one of them. You just got relax. When was Crackdown ever about the overarching narrative or riveting, like, genre-defining gameplay? It's supposed to be about fun. It's not a perfect game, granted, but it's still fun. You can still enjoy yourself and quit taking life so damn seriously. But overall, I liked it. The story is pretty simple. It's just, you're on this island nation city, and Jesus, cat, could you cool it? Sorry, my tabby cat's up to shenanigans.
It's like a city-state.
Yeah, it's like a city-state, and it's under the control of this company, Terra Nova, and basically, you are the agent, Terry. Oh yeah, and if you don't choose the Terry Crews' character, you're probably a psychopath. But just basically liberating the island, doing certain tasks like taking down their refineries of this chemical called Chimera, which is a bitchin' name, by the way. Taking down their transport hubs, taking down their propaganda. And is there anything else? No. It pretty much sets you up to have fun all the time. Like, there's respawn points all over the place. There's places to get your loadouts and get more ammo all over the place. It just wants you to have a fun time. There's not a whole lot of challenge to it, and I know some people like that with their games. I understand. It's not going to be some huge epic odyssey that we've been experiencing with the last, even this console generation of, you got Game of War, Red Dead Redemption 2, the last 2 Assassin's Creed entries, The Witcher. It's not like that, and I'm pretty sure this game was greenlit before this era of grand overarching collectathons that you play for 80 hours and then wonder what you've been doing with your life.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a game that reeks of past generation, and it looks like this was a lot of. I don't know. I haven't played it, but you can probably answer this question. Are the criticisms of the game valid?
Yeah, there are some valid criticisms, like the amount of weapons, there's not much variety. Well, there is variety, but like there's only a few that I'd say are really effective. There's like a couple that are effective to like most enemies. So you can just have like, because you can have 3 guns at a time, and you can pretty much have just those 3 and be fine the whole game. And then I see the criticisms with like the vehicles. Yeah, they're pretty clunky, and by the time you get enough like agility orbs that you collect, which are everywhere, but they also get a lot to get to like the upper levels. Once you get enough agility orbs, you can pretty much go anywhere, and I mean, it's not, maybe won't be as quick as a car, but it's way more fun when you're just jumping around. You're basically like Black Superman, who sounds like Terry Crews. Which, damn, if that isn't a movie like in a month, I'm going to be upset. But
were you annoyed by Terry Crews?
Not at all, actually. He doesn't talk that much. Like, it's... Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. It's not really Terry Crews that much. It's more like you're the agent, and you're being talked at pretty much most of the time by like a general and like some hacker lady. No, maybe not a hacker, just another lady that they're part of the agency.
Yeah.
I'd wager that they do 99% of the talking in this game. Them and the villain do 90. Like, you'll just hear Terry Crews say like weird things like "boom" or "fuck you, gravity," or stuff like that.
I was gonna say, I heard somebody say that when he like jumped up on his jetpack, he said "fuck you, gravity," and I was like, "That's awesome."
Honestly, if he talked more, I wouldn't be upset. I'd probably really enjoy that. It's not overbearing at all. I think, I don't know, maybe I have it weird in the settings where like I can't hear him because you can barely hear his voice sometimes over the complete mayhem that the gameplay can get sometimes. Like, the enemies aren't very challenging. Like, once you get your strength ability up to a certain point, you can just like pretty much murk any like regular enemy with a couple punches. The mechs are pretty challenging, especially early on. They're like little construction mechs that like throw rocks and shit at you, and you have to be careful. The one thing I had difficulty, there's these big propaganda towers that you have to like replace the villain shouting mean things with you shouting encouraging things. And I'm kind of bad, but well, I'm not that bad. Some of them can be frustrating with like the timing of the jumps and if you'll grab onto the ledge or not. Because like, God damn it, you were supposed to grab onto the ledge. Now I'm falling and I have to either start over at the last checkpoint, which thank God for checkpoints on those towers, because if they weren't there, I'm going to throw my controller through a TV. So,
okay, so I'm going to ask you a couple of questions on things I've seen. And
okay.
I want to know if you've done them and how cool they are. I saw that one of your cars, you can put like anti-gravity things on the wheels, so it goes up buildings like a spider.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's actually called Spider. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, it's called something.
Did you ever use that? Was that fun?
I haven't. I've used it a couple of times. It's just kind of like I was trying to use it, and then some dudes like rolled up in this little armored truck and blew it up. So I didn't get to use it as much as I want. It's kind of like its bugginess. It comes along with like the bugginess of the vehicles overall. So if it was a little smoother, I think it'd be a lot more fun. Like, again, the vehicles are a valid criticism, I'd say. But overall, like when it sticks to stuff, it like actually does. So if you like find a big enough surface that's like going up vertically, it'd be fine. But like if you're like, it's like the buggy version of your vehicle can transform. And so like if you transform it into the buggy and go off-roading, and like you'll like be stuck sideways on a boulder or something, because he's like, oh, sticky wheels, because I'm not on a flat surface anymore. But overall, I mean, it needs a little tooling, but I think it could work.
When I saw 5 out of 10, it was IGN that said that.
IGN needs to chill.
And hearing some other people's criticisms, I don't know. I mean, I'm wondering. To me, it sounds. I heard somebody say this on. This is gonna sound really funny, but I heard someone say this on a YouTube video. It's to me, it sounds like the perfect podcast game, and what I mean by that is, I don't know if you do this, but if I'm playing games where there's not really a lot of story and there's not a lot of things going on, I'll just listen to podcasts. I feel like that's what Crackdown 3 is, because I don't think you know. You and I were talking about it the other day. You hardly mentioned anything with the story because it's there, but you don't really care about it, right? I mean,
it's
very
very
vague,
simple,
generic.
And it's like they are evil, and I need to stop them.
And that's
they are very clearly evil. There's no gray area. They are the Nazis.
I'm Terry Crews.
I wish he had his shirt off. Plain and simple.
Let me ask you this then: Is it worth $60?
I wouldn't say it's worth 60. I'd say it's worth. Say it's worth $40.
I think it's worth your Game Pass subscription.
Yeah, it's worth the subscription, especially with that $2 for 2 months right now.
There you go. And if you don't like Crackdown 3, there's tons of other great games on there, so you'll be fine.
Yeah, give us money.
I played a little bit of Crackdown 1. I didn't play Crackdown 2.
Oh,
you know,
my phone.
This is
Continue.
This sucks a little bit because I don't want either company to have bad exclusives. I especially don't want Xbox to have another miss because they've had so many. And the thing with Xbox is, yes, they have exclusives, and most of the time their exclusives are great. You know, Gears of War, Halo, Forza, really good, solid series. But that's only 3, and then you look at Sony, who has Uncharted and Resistance and The Last of Us and Spider-Man. Yeah, all
Horizon
these other
Zero
games,
Dawn,
God of War. You know, it sucks for Xbox because I want them to have those things, and I kind of mentioned this to you the other day, and I think this is the truth of the matter. I think this is the death of the 2013 era of Xbox. They've done so much since then to try to win favor back with people and get them to get back on Team Xbox. And I think all those studios you saw from E3 that were acquired, I think that's the change of the guard, and we're going to see better exclusives out of it.
Yeah, Phil's going like full pedal to the metal on fixing like the wrongs that have been done in the past. Well, not necessarily wrongs, but just bad moves.
And I kind of look at Crackdown 3, and I will probably play it because I agree with you. Sometimes it's better to just have fun and not have these big overarching narratives and all this other stuff. And don't get me wrong, I love them. That's why I play games, is to get games like that. But every now and then, I want to watch the Fast and the Furious when I want to see a dumb action movie. I'll do. It's
popcorn. It's basically
like a popcorn movie.
Sorry.
It's like it's just mindless fun.
Yeah. It's like you're not gonna bawl your eyes out like in The Last of Us, or the feelings that you feel at the end of Red Dead Redemption 2 or anything like that. It's just it's almost like a return to the arcade games of just look, colors, look how great this is.
I will say though, and this is nothing against Crackdown 3. I'm just I'm a little bummed, and I said it before, that this is what survives and not Scalebound. Because Scalebound looked something that was totally different on Xbox. That looked like something you would see on PlayStation. Yeah. It didn't look like an Xbox type game. And Crackdown is the generic Xbox exclusive. It's a bro dude shooter. That's what they've been. That's their bread and butter. I mean, Halo isn't like bro dude, but that's their bread and butter, shooters. And it would.
Yeah. Yeah, they're lucky Terry Crews is so damn
Yeah,
charming.
I would play. I honestly, when I saw that he was in it, I was like, that would be the only reason I would play it. It's just to hear
Like,
it's just to hear him say stupid shit.
sorry, go ahead. I think Crackdown 4, if that ever comes, which it probably won't, they should have Terry Crews and The Rock.
Do it.
And just get all the charisma and buff men you can for your Crackdown
It's
game.
a lot of neon though. I've heard about.
Oh, that's a
raid.
shit ton of neon. Yeah, I prefer in the daytime just because of like the contrast at night kind of borderline hurts my eyes, but not that bad.
Is there anything else that you have to add about Crackdown 3?
Don't play Wrecking Zone.
Oh
until they
yeah.
fix it.
How bad is Wrecking Zone really?
It's not great. I don't know. I didn't even want to try it. I actually didn't. But I've just watched gameplay of people playing it, and it's just like, you know how some games just like aren't built for multiplayer? Like remember when AC4 had a multiplayer?
I think of like BioShock 2, where I was like, BioShock games should never have multiplayer.
Or Arkham Origins when it had a multiplayer.
Yeah, so I can understand what you're saying
Just-
with Wrecking Zone. So it just doesn't work.
It just doesn't jive, and but also the fact that you can't play with your friends yet, like that was not available at launch, and Microsoft is trying to fix it like through the Xbox itself, not the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
It
and
just
that's
doesn't make
why
sense.
Crackdown is like the butt of so many jokes. Like that is something
Mm-hmm.
that would be a valid excuse for a game on the original Xbox and PS2, not an Xbox One. Like that's ridiculous. That's an oversight.
Come on, dog. We're in 2019
Okay,
now.
so Crackdown 3 is the game that Chance played and has done that for me. So I know that I can lower my expectations. And believe me, they were already very low. In the meantime, I was playing Far Cry New Dawn. Still am playing Far Cry New Dawn. And I'm enjoying it. And it's almost a similar explanation as to Crackdown 3. It's a lot of action. It's a lot of chaos, and it's what I really liked about Far Cry 5. And it's just that's the thing is this more than just Far Cry 5.5? And it's hard to answer because it's a little bit of yes and no. Where there are times when it does feel like more game and more and there's something more to it, but then there's also times where I'm like, man, this because it's only $40. It's not a full release. Yeah, and
Not
I
the
think
full 60.
just a lot. It's just their way of trying to release a really big expansion, and in that sense, I enjoy it, and that's what I really love about it. But then at the same time, there's things in it that I'm kind of baffled why there aren't in there, and I'm like, well, maybe it's just because it's a smaller game. For instance, like in Far Cry 5, one of my favorite things was the guns for hire. These were these characters that you could get to come with you and fight missions with you, and what was weird about it is Far Cry 5, you could have 2 guns for hire, and you can roll in there. Made my life a lot easier. But in this game, you can't. You only can have 1 gun for hire with you. And I just thought that was a weird change. And then there's some things in this game that are changed that are like staples of Far Cry, and I was like, why is that? Like binoculars. When you play a Far Cry game, first thing you go up to an outpost, first thing you do, you put up the binoculars, you tag your enemies so you know, and then you kind of strategize your plan. I have to spend points, and it has like these perk points, you know? And I have to spend money in perk points to get the binoculars. And I'm just like, why is that not a thing I already have?
Right. It's just
It's
binoculars,
things
bro.
like that. There are the other games of the series that I'm just like, why are you putting this behind a progression thing?
It's like in Halo Reach, where running was an armor ability.
Yeah, the sprint was an armor ability. So yeah, I think a little bit of it is more than just Far Cry 5.5, but it's essentially just that because it is continuing the story of Far Cry 5, and I think to me that could be the strongest thing about it is continuing a story that I was already invested in, and puts the characters from Far Cry 5 in a different light. And this is 17 years after an apocalypse, so some of them are older, some of them are blind, so some of them are just the same, and they're great, and I love them for it. I think if you played it, you would love Herc, because Herc is just this obnoxious like redneck character he's just hilarious. And he's he shoots an RPG. He's like your explosion expert. I think that's what helps me like Far Cry New Dawn is the fact that they're continuing that story. Gameplay wise, I think it's a pretty solid game. It's just like Far Cry 5, and the shooting is pretty well done and spot on. I do have issues with like the menus. I feel like to get a throwable item, it's so obtuse because you have to hit a button to pull up the weapon wheel, then you have to hit another button to open your throwable menu, then you have to like scroll and find it. It just it seems a little too tedious and obtuse. And that's the thing is overall I really like it, but there's just a little annoyances in the game that are just like make me wonder why they made certain design decisions. I'm just like, why do I have to do this for binoculars? Why do I have to go through all this shit just to throw a grenade? Like, there's little things that drive me nuts. But overall, the game is really good, and it's really enjoyable. And
that's good.
Oh, go ahead.
Like, I was gonna say, do you think like they noticed any like design choices for like as far as gameplay or I guess as far as like gameplay or like the menu system, like they fixed anything that you say was wrong with Far Cry 5?
I think they I think they added a little bit more RPG elements in this and added a little bit more depth to it. So like it's kind of everything that you do in this game has a difficulty scale. And so when you select a mission, it'll say difficulty, and it'll have a and then it'll have like 2 slashes or 3 slashes for how difficult it is. And it's also color coordinated. So like 1 is gray, 2 is blue, 3 is purple, and then if you keep going, like the elite level, which is like the highest level and everything, like level 4, it's like a gold color.
So the Joe Flacco color.
You listen to that. Different podcast, Loud Sports, loudopinionated.com. And how they do that is interesting and adds something that I don't think was there in Far Cry 5, where it's more RPG like. So if I'm going into a situation where I know it's a level 3 difficulty, then I know that I need to go and take out some outposts so I can get the main currency of the game, ethanol. And so if I get that, I can upgrade my weapons bench, so then I can craft level 3 guns. And so it adds a little bit more depth, I think, with the RPG approach, and I like that. Hunting's a lot easier than it is in Red Dead. I could shoot I could shoot an animal like 4 times with a shotgun and be done. I wouldn't have to worry about its pelt.
That's pelt. It's ruined.
So yeah, I think that is a good addition, and there's like health bars on the top of enemies now. So much like other RPGs, when you shoot them, numbers will fly off them, and like their health will go down. So it's adding more RPG elements to it, and I think I like that, and it adds to the game. I couldn't think of how to say that. Adds to the game, and I think another cool thing they did with outposts. In other games, you just find the outposts, you go in, you take them out, and you're done. You've captured it, and it's another, like, they were just pretty much there to like restock ammo and like fast travel points on the map. Now they've added an aspect of it to where you, after you've captured an outpost, you can scavenge it. So you just let the highwaymen, the bad guys that you're fighting, you let them recapture it, and then you just go after it again. They're higher level enemies, but when you recapture that again, you get more ethanol and more gear and all that other stuff to craft things. And then it's this weird like grinding loop to it, and you can redo it as many times as you want. And they're just going to get tougher and tougher and tougher enemies, and you get more and more and more rewards. So it's kind of like this weird, like, drug addiction to it, because it's like, yeah, give me another hit, man. I got to take out another outpost. Yeah.
Need those endorphins,
and
bro.
I enjoy them, although there's a couple of them that are, like, level 3 difficulty, and I keep getting my teeth kicked in, and I'm like, oh, okay, I clearly need to upgrade my weapons. So that plays a lot into it. I want to go back to the story a little bit. I think the story has some interesting elements to it. And I think, much like you were talking, like the opposite of what you were talking about with Crackdown 3, where you're just collecting orbs, there's nothing to this open world, you're kind of just blowing shit up and collecting orbs, whatever. There's a lot of notes and backstory in this game that connects some dots from Far Cry 5 to this game. Also gives some backstories to some characters. I don't know if you're ever going to play this. I'm about to spoil something. So, okay.
Go ahead.
There's a character in Far Cry 5. The main villain is Joseph Seed. He leads the cult called Project Eden's Gate. And, like, they're a doomsday cult, which is funny because they were right, because the apocalypse did happen. But they're, like, this religious, like, doomsday cult, and you're fighting. The whole thing of that game is you're fighting against this cult. Well, at the end of Far Cry 5, which has multiple endings, but this is the one they made canon, the bombs drop, nuclear explosions are going off and everything, and you're driving to a bunker to meet this guy, Dutch, who you meet at the beginning of the game. You go in his
Arthur?
I got him! Well, this Dutch did have a plan. So you go to his bunker, and you get knocked out, like the father gets free, you're like, he's in the back of your car and all this shit's going down, and then your car gets flipped and you get knocked out, and then he drags you to the bunker, he kills the Dutch dude, and then handcuffs you to a bedpost, and it pretty much says, I was right, you're gonna be you're my child now, I'm your father.
Jeez.
Everybody was pissed at that ending because it's like, what a fucking downer. And I was like, it gets worse, I found out, in Far Cry New Dawn. So you create a whole new character in this game. So you don't have any attachment to your old character.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this character called the Judge who has this mask and shoots bow and arrow, and they're stealthy. They don't say anything to you. And your character is silent, too. So he doesn't say anything to you or anything. And you finally meet Joseph Seed and do some stuff with him because you have to, like, join hit, like, the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of thing. Like, he's going to help you with the highwayman.
Mm-hmm.
But you find out in the backstory that the Judge is your character from Far Cry 5. And I'm like, that's
oh
so
my
shit.
God.
And my a friend of mine who's been playing the game as well, he's just like, dude, it's like Darth Vader. You were
What a
Anakin
twist.
when you were the rookie, and now he's the Judge. Yeah, I was like, I read that twist, and I was like, oh, shit. Because I found notes about it. I'm like, oh, man. So there's things like that I really, really enjoy about this game, is that attachment to it.
The attention to continuity is something like me, and I know a lot of people appreciate.
Yeah, considering that this, like, they had to have this plan set in place because New Dawn has come out less than a year after Far Cry 5. So they have had to have that big plan to do all that stuff. And I really appreciate that. I thought that was really cool. Overall, I would say if you like Far Cry, you probably already have the game. But if you're on the fence about it, pick up Far Cry 5 first. I honestly think it's a better game. But if you go into New Dawn thinking it's not a full game, it's just a big expansion onto Far Cry 5, I think you're going to have a lot of fun with it. So I would recommend getting Far Cry 5 first, play that game, see how you feel about it, then play New Dawn. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
boy.
that's it for this week. I think we've kind of touched on everything.
Oh.
This was kind of, I actually like this because this is kind of how I was going to structure our reviews. You know, we were kind of just pitching that off of each other. Reviews for Crackdown 3 and Far Cry New Dawn will be up very soon up on loudandopinionated.com. You can follow us on Twitter at @UnderAGames. You can like us on Facebook, Underachievers Games. You can go to YouTube and watch Let's Plays. We need to do an Apex Legends Let's Play. We missed out. We played the other night and it was just awful.
Dude, we suck. There's no way. There's nothing
Well,
going
that's because
around
Sparks
it.
doesn't play as a teammate, dude. He just runs off, never stays with the team, and he's not on the show, so I can call him
I
out.
know it's. Oh yeah, it's just like we're dead.
Yeah.
It's Fortnite all over
Yes,
again.
you can get this show every other week. So if you missed it one week, well, that's too bad. You gotta wait another week to listen to it. In the
Suck it,
between
nerd.
time, we post gaming articles up on loudandopinionated.com, and we also put up Let's Plays on our YouTube channel. So there's always some sort of content for you to enjoy. Thanks, Chance, for being here with me today.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
Most importantly, game on. This show is brought to you by Loud and Opinionated.